From all over the world, including a field with 2 World's Strongest Man winners, including the current world champion from Finland, Jani Virtanen. We're hoping for some explosive strongman action, so sit back and enjoy. Take your grip.
Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Sven Carlson, Viking Power. Time to beat 1 minute, 25 seconds. See if he can get up his Conan's wheel. If he's going to break the time, he really needs to get this in 1 set. Wants to win this particular event, he's going to have to make it all the way around. The time to beat 1 minute, 25 seconds. We're at 45 seconds. 55 seconds. Time to beat 1 minute, 25. 1 minute. 10 seconds. 1 minute 10. 1 minute 15. 1 minute 20.
It's just been a perfect start for me, just like I planned. I told myself if I could win the wheel flip, I will win the competition. I just hope my prediction will be right, but it's still a long way to go.
Who will be the toughest competitor be, do you think, now in the final events?
Are there anybody else on me here? No, seriously. I think it's going to be Phil Fister looks in great shape now. And Magnus also looks very great. So
Once again, welcome.
the greatest warrior will stand in the end. Just hope that will be me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time to beat.
You know, I always say anything can happen at a strongman contest, but I've been training for this and I'm very pleasantly surprised, especially with the tire. I thought that would be a little more difficult than it was for me.
You seem to be going extremely strong today so far. You have some energy left now for the final?
Oh yeah, that's the whole trick with these contests is staying out of the sun and eating just the right amount so that it's not heavy, but you still have a little energy from your food.
See what he's got left. 1 minute, 19 seconds will be the time to beat. He wants to stay in first place. He's got to have a good showing here. Looks like he may have expended a lot of energy there. We're at 1 minute, 5 seconds. Unofficial time puts him in second place. Let's see.
1:43. Arena, Honolulu, of course. We're with the Beauty and the Beast finals in Hawaii, part of the world's strongest man competition, which of course has been extended here on Eurosport over the last couple of years. Cassel, Apollon, and the axle lift. The weights going up all the time. This, the final event, and the bar's going up to 160 kilograms. Well, just as weightlifters, they're allowed to choose their weights and see just how much higher they can get than the rest. Ideal, of course, if you manage to throw the hammer down, if you like, and 160 kilos. Tough indeed. Now, can he complete the clean and jerk? Hold it, and the judges give him the okay. Nicely done. Well, off Haugen, making it, and Brian Schoonveld of the United States. Well, no raise in the bar, and he's done a slightly offset grip. One hand one way, the other way. Decides to change his mind halfway through, resting on his sizable abdomen and indeed on the belt. Not so sure about that myself. Up to the collarbone then. He's got one further stage to go. Can he do it? He's got it. The hold wasn't that long, I have to say. nonetheless, Brian Schoonveld is giving it. The American still in there. Sven Karlsen then of Norway. Well, you can see exactly his determination once again. Once again changing the mind. I was just going to say the hand grip offset once again. Oh, give me 10 more kilos, he says. Well, he probably will if he keeps on this way. So Sven Karlsen of Norway joining Brian Schoonveld. And off Haugen. Magnus Samuelsson then. Resting it on the back protector. And straight up in 3 easy moves. Pleased with himself. Well, pleasant conditions here as 10 kilos more go on. And the weather's being hot. It's not exactly ideal for this sort of thing. Anyone who's been to a weightlifting hall will know that they're kept generally slightly cool. Dehydration can be a problem. When you're exerting yourself like this, it can cause difficulties. Odd Haugen then at 170. He made 160, but seemed to have struggled. Well, he's resting it on his weight belt. One more stage to go. No, drops it behind him, and lucky not to do himself a mischief. And a round of applause, and why not? It could still be that he draws level for the points at the end of this round. We shall see. So Odd Haugen not making it. Up comes Brian Schoonveld, the American. Very, very determined, and looks to be suffering due to the bright sunshine here. Once again, he's got that partially reversed grip, as you can see. Feet planted. Oof, just making it onto the back belt. Changes his hand grip at the rest position. Looks as though he's about to explode, doesn't he? To the collarbone then. He's set. Straight in the back and up you go. Lock those elbows, lock them. And he does it. Well, Brian Schoonveld of the United States makes it. Well, a real treat for the crowd here. And Schoonveld being congratulated by all the boys here. And the skull and crossbones of Sven Karlsen, the Norwegian. Once again, he's got that partially reversed grip. Look at that, like picking up a puppy. Straight to his waist, to the collarbone. Money's got to be on him. Oh, keep your feet still, lock the elbows. Yep, they've given it to him, giving him the thumbs up. Wouldn't have got my white light, I have to say, but there you go. Sven Karlsen joins Brian Schoonveld. Magnus Samuelsson then. Samuelsson, I beg your pardon. Well, Karlsen was the man who called for 10 more. He made it. Oh, dear, oh, dear. One attempt. He's not looking confident. He just can't get it to that rest position. And he'll be wearing out all the time. And you don't fancy him to continue with this one. 170 kilos to raise. Oh, he couldn't even get it to his top of his chest. Good lad. Stops it rolling off towards the judges, though. He's got 40 seconds remaining if he wants to make this. Takes it to the belt. He's annoyed with himself. That often helps. Not this time. So a shared first place for Sven Karlsen and Brian Schoonveld, the Norwegian and the American. All delighted. Well, in Hawaii, do as the locals do, because they don't do this very often. The Farmer's Walk. 153 kilos of concrete set in cylinders with weight either end. And it's to see who can get the longest distance. The drums beating away, and the competitors just trying to get as far as they possibly can. Odd Hungen, 93.2 meters his distance. That's the benchmark. And you can see the blisters on his hands, and they've burst. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, the chalk and resin showing the crowd. Hardly a capacity crowd, it has to be said. But with weather like this, they're probably on the beach, and you can hardly blame them. Phil Feister of the United States, 93.2 to beat. He's off. And not exactly running, but this is as near to a sprint as you can possibly get when you're carrying this sort of weight. Feister keeping the rhythm, listening to the drums, and just planting his feet one after the other. Well, as you go, those shoulders start to burn, the arms being literally pulled out of their sockets. And he's still going. He's way beyond the 93.2 meters. He's gone over the 100, over 120, over the 150, and what a distance, 176.5. And applause well earned. Our leader, Phil Feister of the United States.
Now here's just a comparison. Put it up there. You got to use your other one there, genius.
Look at the size of those mitts. He should have been a swimmer, like wearing paddles on your hands. So Jani Virtanen of Finland, off he goes. 176.5 to beat, and it's a mighty distance. But he's going off quickly, much faster. Well, we thought Feister's effort was impressive, but Jani Virtanen seems to be sprinting here. He's reached the bend. And still going. Oh, he just couldn't make it to the end of that poster just from the end. 169.5, just shy by 6 meters. Congratulations, well earned for Jani Virtanen. Well, Phil Feister of the United States, his distance of 176.5 looks absolutely unbeatable. But if there's a man to do it, it's Magnus Samuelsson of Sweden. And if determination counts for anything, this boy has got it. Didn't like the look of that step halfway through the course. Mind you, they've all had to contend with it. Oh, a little wobble there. Worst thing you can do on this particular one is let the weights start to spin around your body. Samuelsson going for it. Oh, and it looks like he's done it. 184.9. He's got the lead.
It was pretty heavy, right? Yeah. I expected it, you know, but to feel even heavier. But you're so psyched up when you start, you don't really feel the weight.
Did you drop it strategically, or?
No, I actually hurt myself a few events ago in my left hand, so my grip is really, really poor. So I had to just build up speed and, you know, see how far I can go. Normally I would try to walk slightly slower, because then it goes smoother, but the grip is not there right now.
So trying to get to the end before his grip gave out, and a superb effort from Magnus Samuelsson. Brian Skudfeldt of the United States, once again with that explosive look about him. And a good even tempo. Not as quick as Samuelsson, but much smoother. And we saw Samuelsson, as he turned the corner, he was starting to look as though the weights were spinning. He managed to neutralize it. But Brian Skudfeldt is looking very, very comfortable. Just look at that iron grip he's got there. Fantastic, almost looking like he's going to stop for a break. Still going, still going. Whoa, way beyond, up to the speakers, 194.3.
To Magnus Samuelsson's mark there. Was that the big thing to take him?
That's a big thing to take any event.
You're in the lead now. Do you fear that Sven Karlsson is going to have a chance here now?
I competed against Sven in Boston, and he couldn't go 200 feet with 330. I don't see him making it any farther than what.
You're working yourself up here now, really. You're in for it now.
I got a rebound if I want to make that spot.
2 events to go. You're going to give everything, of course.
Always. Always.
Always gives everything, and you can just see the shape of his shoulders. Unbelievable power behind Brian Schoenfeldt. He's done so well in the axle lift, and now in this, the farmer's walk. And it's Sven Karlsson of Norway, and he's already looking as though he's staggering. Just look at the shoulders. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Well, sympathies, of course, go out to him. 97.6 he made. And indeed, just good enough for one off the bottom. Odd Hurtgen just missing out, of course. Brian Schoenfeldt then taking this one. More after this.
From the heart of America's answer today.
Looked upon as the most prestigious US strongman contest. And if you're not distracted by the young ladies all around the place or the musicians beating out their impressive tunes, then let your eyes focus on the big boys. And they are impressive. Next up, it's the keg toss. And this is to see just how high you can get it over a bar. 20 kilograms this keg weighs. It's a heavy weight in itself, but getting maximum height and defying gravity is what it's all about. So first up then, it's Gordon Birch, and there is the missile. Now, normally they take it backwards. There are various different ways. It has to go over the top. There he goes. Clean. Nicely done, and you can see what it means to him. Good stuff. Gordon Birch. Well, the bar is set at 17 feet. Birch has made it. Chad Choi, another American, his first attempt before the bar is raised. Having a look back. It's a case of throwing it and then getting out of the way sharpish. Here we go. Oh, just did it. And luckily for him, unless you smack this bar directly on the side, it's going to stay put, as you can see. Just a case of getting it over. It has to be a meaty bar, of course. If it was a standard high jumper bar, then, of course, it would bend rather too quickly. So Chad Choi joins Gordon Birch in the running. Savikas of Lithuania, his first go, despite the fact he's wearing rather un-Lithuanian pants. Obviously bought them nearby. Just smacking the underbar. And indeed that was Carl Gillingham, I beg your pardon, but missing it in his first attempt. Well, he'll get another go. Phil Fissler. Very pretty. Let's go. Well, the meditation didn't help. Had the power, just didn't have the technique. Magnus Samuelsson then. And rather different, as you can see, methods. First attempt for him. Oh, vertical, get out of the way. It's about the last thing on earth that you want to play head the ball with. Magnus Samuelsson not very pleased with himself, but he had the power, just once again didn't quite have the technique. Carl Gillingham, who we accused of being Savikas of Lithuania with his fancy pants. Carl then trying for his second attempt. Vital this. He's used his wild card to have another go at this. Convinced he can. He had the strength and the height. Can he deliver? Up. Oh! Well, it just held underneath. He took the banner down with it. And he's going to have a final crack. All his jokers have run out. Well, question of pressure. Don't let it get to you, says his team. And you can see the storm clouds coming in. Concentration then. Underneath, under and over. Will he do it? Oh, well done. He knew he could. He'd hit the bar so hard on a number of occasions. Good for him. Phil Feister then, his second attempt. And also on his wild card, this is his last chance then. Well, this technique didn't work for him before. Very sculptural. Oh, dear, 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 dear. Just releasing too quickly. And anyone who's entered a Wellington boot throwing competition will know all about that. Whoa, just over. And finally getting exactly what he was after. Good for him, Magnus Samuelsson. Next up, raising it to 17 feet. Phil Feister has gone through. Dear oh dear, you can see just how heavy and loaded that is. Samuelsson missing in his last attempt. Used his wild card, missed as well. And so the bar going up. 17 feet, 5 inches. I hope you've got a slide rule to work it out metrically. Chad Choi then, at the new height. Oh, very balletic. Oh, if he'd had the technique, that would have flown over. First attempt at the new height, missed then for Chad Choi. And this is Sivikis of Lithuania. Well, that looked like it flew underneath, just clipping the banner. Nice and clean, but didn't quite get there, did it? Carl Gillingham then. Oh, so close. It just hung in the air there, bounced twice on top of the bar and came down. Well, Gillingham will be disappointed with that. Phil Feister made it at 17 on his wild card. Can he do it this time? Five inches higher then. No, wasn't to be.
We're going to go to the second attempt at 17 feet 6 inches.
Well, absolutely everybody has missed it. Well, indeed, it's 17 feet 6, which does make more sense. It does say 17 feet 5 here in the book. Going the extra inch. Well, can Chad Choi go the extra mile? Second attempt then for Chad Choi. Oh, so close. He punches the air. Well, he's got his wild card and he's decided to go for it, and not surprisingly. Why not indeed? It had the power, didn't it? Just clipped the bar there, and so disappointing to see it coming back down. Wild card for Chad Choi. No, same again. Basically, he was just too close to it, wasn't he? If he'd have taken another couple of paces beyond the line, he could have done it. Savikas then. No. Well, he may well go for the wild card, but the power just wasn't there this time. He's getting tired. You can hardly blame him for that. Savikas then. One more. But he's going to need something extra if he's going to get it over there. Don't fancy it. Look at the hungry shorts of the chap behind him. Actually, don't. No, it was never going to be. He knew it. His heart wasn't in it. There was no real delivery there. The power and the straining were gone. Carl Gillingham then. Well, nobody's done it yet at this new height of 17 feet 5 inches, 6 inches, I beg your pardon. Or maybe a 20-kilo barrel just won't go that high if you're a human being. Carl Gillingham then. He's done it! He's got it! Well done, Carl Gillingham. Fantastic stuff. Well, there's others still to go. Carl Gillingham has cracked it, sending it over the bar. Phil Feister, his last attempt. Very peculiar style. No, just coming crashing down. Carl Gillingham then takes it, the only man to clear 70 feet and 6 inches. Relief all round at the end of the keg toss. Back in a moment. He is for the Beauty and the Beast Strongman Challenge. The island's beautiful. The men are beasts, as we have seen. Unbelievable strength. And next up is the Samson Barrow deadlift hold. Athletes basically lift and hold with both hands for as long as possible. No straps or grip aids other than plain old chalk. Here we go then. Brian Schoonsveld.
Come on, Brian.
Well, it doesn't look like much, does it? Well, believe me, when your arms start to burn and those shoulders just want to come out of those sockets, and it doesn't matter how much pre-training you've done ahead of this one, the muscles will burn, and it's just a question of how long you can stand it. Clock rolling then, and we're just about to come up to the 30-second mark, and Brian Schoonsveld is looking calm.
Come on, Brian.
30 seconds.
30 seconds has been passed. 35. He's starting to shake. The muscles starting to go into spasms. The salts that have been worked free starting to cause cramps. Very, very, very difficult. 50 seconds then. Whoa, 52.9 seconds. Well done, Brian Schoonsveld. We've seen him in these power competitions, such as the Farmer's Walk, where he's just been absolutely outstanding, Schoonsveld. And you won't be surprised if he takes it by the end of the day. Carl Gillingham.
Here we go, Carl.
Well, going for the meditation approach. Think about something nice. Do not think about the weight of this. Coming up to 20 seconds then. He's past that. Remember, he's got 52.9 seconds to beat. Well, his assistant's talking calmly to him. Massaging his brain, if you like, while the muscles just go through agony. 40 seconds. Remember, 52.9 is the target to beat. He's starting to tremble. The muscles are starting to go. 53, he's already in the lead. How long can he hang on for? Bang! 58.3. Didn't he do well? Oh, the announcer giving the time. We already knew it, didn't we? Next up, Sven Karlsson of Norway. Now, in some of the endurance events, Sven has excelled, and this is no different. Well, he lifted that up before the whistle had gone. Holding steady, arms locked, and look at the length of his arms are being pulled to. You put your arms down by your side, and they don't go that far down. He was to open his hands and stand like that in the same position. His fingers almost touch his knees. And he looks very comfortable, biting his bottom lip, trying to regain concentration as it starts to drift away from him. He's in control. He really is in control. No trembling yet. Ooh, just a hint of it. 40-second mark. Take big breaths, he's being told. Oxygenate those muscles. They need it. Keep breathing, indeed. You don't want to pass out. He's past Brian Schoonsveld's time. He's approaching Brian Gillingham's time. He's in the lead. And he's just going for it, almost smiling, the grimace spreading across his face. He's holding on. The eyes have come open now. He knows it's near the end. Eyes are open so he doesn't drop it on his feet. There he goes. 1 minute 30 seconds dead. Our new leader, Sven Karlsson. Superb effort. Magnus Samuelsson then of Sweden. Well, we've just been getting better and better here. Coming in reverse order. Once again, Samuelsson is one of the boys. We're seeing his energy milk drink rejoining us there. He won't be bothered about that, although the slightest thing can indeed alter the concentration. Samuelsson.
15 seconds.
Well, his wife Christine is here, and she'll be doing her best to encourage him, you can bet. Good advice indeed. Keep breathing. So, you know, the strain when you lift something up very, very heavy, you actually often forget to breathe, and we've seen weightlifters black out. Well, not here. They're encouraging him. It's like having a permanent training session, this, to the side. 52.9 to avoid, he has to beat in order to avoid last place. Well, he's past that, and he looks comfortable, doesn't he? He's still breathing easy. Starting to grimace, and wife Christine is telling him exactly what he's got to do. Hold on, she says, then we can win 60,000 Swedish krona. He's still at it. 1 minute and 13 to beat. He's past that. He's in the lead. Come on. Samuelsson, keep hold of it. Christine giving him plenty. Goodness me, talk about wife beaten. Oh, down it goes, 129.3, and I would be very, very surprised if that gets beaten. Well, Christine screamed her heart out, and it certainly helped Magnus Samuelsson of Sweden. Here we are with Lithuania's Zindrus Savikas. Well, he's changing colour rapidly. Not breathing. Yes, good job, they're saying. Looks very, very calm. Breathing easy now. Don't distract the boy. Starting to go. No, he's still got it. Well, trembling violently now. That's come early. Dear, oh dear, he fell away towards the end, didn't he? 38.6 seconds. And indeed the worst time. He knows it as well. The Samson Barrow deadlift, not the easiest of things. I mean, you could barely lift this up with two of you, never mind one. Phil Feister of the United States. Man with the big hands.
Looks good, Phil. Hold it. Come on, Phil. Hold it.
And you can hear Phil's wife talking him through it, just as Christine did for Magnus Samuelsson.
Looks good, Phil. Breathe. Breathe. Come on, Phil. Hold it tight.
Daddy's got it.
Breathe.
So the first benchmark, not to finish last, is 38.6 seconds now. That of Zandros Savikas of Lithuania.
Come on, Big Daddy. Come on.
He's past that. Come on, Big Daddy. We've seen the size of his hands. We'll leave it at that.
Breathe. Hold it. Hold it. Looks good. Hold it.
So, Brian Schoonsfeld time, 52.9. Past it.
You can do it. You can do it.
Carl Gillingham in his sights, 58.3. Past that as well. Sven Karlsson of Norway, he made 1 minute and 13 seconds. Phil Feister, can he go past that? He can. He looked like he was going to drop it, but no. 1 minute 29 seconds to take the lead. That's the target. Coming up to 1 minute 29 seconds. If he goes past that, he has taken it. He's done it. Whoa! Excellent stuff from Phil Feister. Outstanding. Goodness me, and if that little baby grows up as big as his daddy, there'll be 2 of them on Earth. Beware. So, Jani Virtanen of Finland. Well, he's got a heck of a target, 1 minute 31.5 seconds. He knows it, standing to attention, leaning slightly in. You have a slightly different technique, and if you know anything about axles and axis, maybe that'll help.
15 seconds.
Well, a picture of concentration. It's early days, of course. We saw that with Rondas Savikas, and he started trembling pretty quickly. So, 38.6 to avoid the wooden spoon. No problem. 52.9 then to beat Brian Schoonsfeld. Past that, he's mid-table then, 58.3 the next marker. Past Carl Gillingham's time. 1 minute 13 seconds, Sven Karlsson. No, 1 minute 06.5. Well, the men's final event is the Oregon Labs Power Stairs Medley. Sounds very poetic, doesn't it? Well, just watch this. Athletes in pairs load and set 3 heavy objects between 100 and 110 kilos. They've got to be put on the platform. You'll work it out. Watch this. Heavy objects indeed. Concrete-filled kegs. Carl Gillingham and Sven Karlsson of Norway battling it out. Got to get it up to that top step. Mirror per mirror, matching each other. The clock's running. Times of around a minute, we reckon, in training runs. And the legs and arms and absolutely everything beginning to burn. You've got to have a strong back for this. And the clock has stopped at 51 seconds for Sven Karlsson in the skull and crossbones cap. And Carl Gillingham almost pays the ultimate price. 57 seconds for Carl Gillingham. Sven Karlsson managing in 51. It is, of course, about speed. So Magnus Samuelsson of Sweden up against Phil Feister of the United States. And they're off. Couple of kegs first, and why not? Just imagine if your local pub had them delivered this quickly. It would never run dry. Well, what about that oil line junction? Actually, it's a fire hydrant, isn't it? And then up the stairs with the weights. Magnus is looking magnificent. Phil Feister looking pretty good as well. Very, very difficult to maintain this sort of pace. The clock's then approaching. Remember, 51 seconds from Sven Karlsson is the time to beat so far. Magnus has done it. 45.2, and the Viking lets his voice be heard. Phil Feister, well, he still beat Ken Carlson's time, 50.1 seconds. Great stuff indeed. Let's have a word with Magnus Samuelsson of Sweden. What an effort. Congratulations from his wife. She's used to cheering him on, as you've heard.
What a spirit. Yeah, it's been a long day, but I really tried my best in the last one. I knew we had to do something special to win here, and I think I did.
You're the champion of the biggest contest strongman in America. This is your first win in America?
Yeah, I was second last time after Rahola here. And this was a great revenge.
Could one do an event like you did now faster than you did it?
It's hard to say, maybe if it would have been earlier on the day, but of the 7 hard events, the body takes a strain, and You know, it's maybe 20% off, but really pleased with it.
You will sleep good tonight, yes?
For sure, for sure.
$6,000 will help?
Yeah, I actually didn't know it was $6,000, but I'm sure that will come in good hand.
Thank you and congratulations to Sweden.
Yeah, and I must say, it's been a very hard competition, very, very tough events, and many of the strongest men in the world was here today. Phil Pfister did really well, Sven Karlsson did really well, and just by watching Janne struggling, then you know that it's been a hard week.
Hard week indeed. The lovely ladies waving us off. And the prize ceremony then, Magnus Samuelsson centre stage. He deserves everything he gets. He's been absolutely outstanding here. It's been a stunning event, the World's Strongest Man Challenge here in Honolulu, Hawaii. We'll be back with more, of course. Our apologies for the start of the show, which is a little bit light perhaps, but the scenery, I'm sure you're enjoying it as well as the action here. Superb stuff. Magnus Samuelsson, well deserved and a more popular winner there couldn't have been. He really did hold it together right the way throughout. And the mighty sword for a mighty man, and appropriately, the world's strongest man's belt. Magnus Samuelsson with a tidy check to take home, keeps himself in good shape and is likely to do so for our next visit to this championship. We'll leave you with these happy scenes from me, Carlton Kirby, and this programme, The World's Strongest Man, the Beauty and the Beast. Goodbye from Hawaii. Hello and welcome to the World's